What's good? What's good? We are back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast. Your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. Today, I'm going to react to a video. It's Anthony Brian Logan reacted to Florida's new anti-sex offender law, and some people are getting upset about this law, and the fact that they are is really, really weird. But before we get into that, though, I'm gonna give you a word from Dizzle brand premium luxury liqueur.
That lit, that slap, it is that one. That everybody talking about Dizzle new drink. They like that's that turn. That lit, that slap, it is that one. That everybody talking about Dizzle new drink.
They like you could Dizzle too. Dizzle is a premium luxury liqueur mixed with agave tequila, cognac, and orange liquor mango mix. Throw your Dizzle on ice, and it's nice. If you want to order your very own bottle or bottles of Dizzle premium luxury liqueur, go to dizzlebrand.com, click on the order online button. You will see in the homepage that'll take you to Melio's Beverage. Don't forget, you must be 21 and over. Shipping and handling is included. Also, the Dizzle brand merch. I got one of the t-shirts on right now. We got the white and red right here. You can get it at dizzlebrand.com. Go to merchandise store. It's also available at etsy.com, etsy.com. Search for Dizzle Brand or go to etsy.com/shop/Dizzle Brand. And the Dizzle Brand gummies are also available at dizzlenova.com. I repeat, Dizzle Brand gummies are now available at dizzlenova.com. I recommend the strawberries. All right, let's get into it.
Protects children. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a brand new law that has just gone into effect in Florida that gives the death penalty to people convicted of sexually abusing children under the age of 12. Now, if you ask me, this is cause for a celebration, dancing in the streets, because if it's me and I see that somebody is proven to have done that to a child, I say take them on out back behind the courtroom, old Yeller style, and be done with it right there. Let's not waste years and all this time and taxpayer money into clothing you and feeding you, all this, that, and the third. Let's be done with it right now. If there's evidence.
Let me stop for a second. I think it should be that when anybody gets the death penalty. I think they should just get it over with just like that. I don't think taxpayer dollars should be paying for them to get whatever meals they want and live comfortable in a cell, you know, until they die. No, I don't. Not if they've gotten the death penalty. And there's clearly enough evidence.
It's beyond a shadow of a doubt that somebody did something like this. Let's go ahead and be done with it.
Like I said.
Now, some people don't like the law because they say it targets a specific group. Now, I don't know what group is targeted by this. I mean, who should be given any kind of grace in that situation? There are some heinous crimes that are committed in this world, but something like this is at the very top. I mean, there's no excuse or.
Let me chime in again. You know, I've always said that the way they're trying to sexualize kids, bringing in this transgenderism and things of that nature, all leads to them trying to normalize pedophilia. That's what this all leads to. It all leads to them trying to normalize pedophilia. It really does. Because why else would you need to sexualize kids at such an early age except to try to normalize pedophilia, which used to be normal in Roman and Greek societies back in the days. But, you know, we've changed and we evolved.
Coming back from that. Now, before I go any further, let's get into the actual law here. The news clip for this will be in the description box. If you're on IG, Visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
And a number of new laws are now in effect as of today. Arguably, the most controversial one centers around changes to Florida's death penalty. Child rapists can now face execution for their crimes. News4Jax reporter Ashley Harding explains why the law is still likely to face challenges in court.
The law specifically pertains to child victims under the age of 12. Higher courts have already said imposing death sentences in these types of cases is a violation of the Eighth Amendment. While some say the law is still a measure of protecting children, others say different.
Now, one thing I want to say is that a lot of these people that do things like this have a high recidivism rate. So you really can't rehabilitate them. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Just go ahead and be done with it. Take them on out back. Oh,
I mean, he's right. There's no reform for people like this. There's no, and that's another thing that pisses me off. When people be always talking about, now, see, police reform and prison reform is one thing, but prisoner reform, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different argument. Because you can't reform somebody who doesn't want to be reformed. Like this idea that you're going to reform somebody when they don't want to be reformed. You want them to be reformed. You want to force them to be reformed, but they don't want to. It's not going to happen, man. They're never going to be reformed unless somebody wants to be reformed themselves. That has to be an individual choice. That, yes, I want to do a 180. I don't want to do this shit no more. Like Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane did a straight 180. But it had to be up to Gucci Mane to decide, hey, I'm going to stop doing all this dumbass shit that keeps me locked up in jail and prison all the time.
Yeller and move on.
Florida courts now have a green light to sentence child rapists to death row. It was a measure that received bipartisan support as it rose through Tallahassee. Upon signing it into law, Governor Ron DeSantis said, "These are really the worst of the worst. The perpetrators of these crimes are often serial offenders."
That is correct. They often do it more than once. I mean, these be the kind of people that you will find with missing children. Like, people like this have to go. They cannot be in society at all. Point blank, period.
Maria DeLiberato is the executive director of Floridians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty. She does not disagree.
Of course, child sexual battery is one of the most horrific crimes that one can think of. And you're certainly not saying that.
DeLiberato, an attorney herself, explains even though the law is now technically in effect in Florida, the Supreme Court would first have to reverse its initial ruling for it to apply to a particular case.
I mean, the legislature, to their credit, acknowledged that when they passed it, right? They said, we know this isn't the law. We just hope the law will get changed.
She also says the trauma does not end there for the victim.
But you're also dealing with a living victim who would have to be a part of the inevitable decades-long death penalty process. A death penalty case is not.
Now, the thing about those cases, she's right about that, about the long process. I mean, again, if I could just be the ruler, be the king, rule by fiat, I would say, you know what? Okay, you're guilty. You got evidence. You did it. You got pictures on your phone. Oh, let's go out back right now and delete you right there and move on to the next case. We're not going to be housing you for years and years and years. No. Let's just discard you right now.
Quick. It doesn't go away quickly. It languishes for years and years and years.
DeLiberato also points to alarming statistics. According to the Child Welfare Information Gateway, about 90% of child sex abuse victims know their abuser, and about 30% of children are abused by family members.
And so now you've got this whole dynamic where a child is going to bear the weight of a possible death sentence to a neighbor, an uncle, grandfather, someone that they know that everybody in their family is not going to feel the exact same way about.
It's also important to note this new law would still require an 8-4 jury recommendation for a death sentence.
So there we have it. That's what's going on right now in Florida with the law. But as I said, some people are not really happy. And I was not referring to the lawyer right there. She gave a pretty, I would say, fair rebuttal to it. I don't agree, but it was fair because he's talking about law and then some of the real world effects. But I was not speaking about her when I said some are going to be against it. I'm talking about this individual right here. Now, this is going to be really crazy, and I don't know what to make of it quite yet. Maybe I'll be able to get my thoughts together after we watch it. But again, I will link to this in the description. If you're on IG, link in bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll this.
I don't think that is as bad as it's going to get in the state of Florida or possibly red states in general for trans people. I think that this is the ultimate goal. Yes, he wants to deter as many gay and trans people from the state of Florida as possible.
Let me stop. The fact that she would actually put gays and trans in the same box as a pedophile, that should scare you. That should make you wonder. That should be a head scratcher. That should be red flags right there. And yeah, I did say earlier that normalize. That's the thing. When you normalize transgenderism, which is not even reality, it's make believe, you open up a door for the pedophiles to try to normalize, what they do, their disgusting thoughts and actions and whatnot, which are actually real actions. They're real disgusting thoughts and actions. So when you normalize make-believe shit and call it reality, you open up this Pandora's box for the people that are doing disgusting things that are not make-believe, that are our reality, to call for their shit to be normalized. Because their shit is actually reality. That's the thing. That's why we've opened up this Pandora's box with this transgenderism by enabling some shit that's not even real. That's make-believe. I identify as a fucking honey badger after I got hit by a car because I'm fearless. But am I a fucking honey badger? No, I'm not a fucking honey badger. But now we're trying to, we've allowed kids to be sexualized in school, or trying to sexualize them in school, just to push through transgenderism, just to normalize that. And what have you done? You've allowed all this other floodgates of all this other sick, disgusting shit to come through and want to be normalized as well, like pedophilia. And which I've been saying that's the final goal of these motherfuckers, is to normalize this shit. And the fact that she would equate a pedophile with a gay and a transgender should draw red flags, should make you wonder, scratch your head, and be like, what the fuck is going on here? Because gays and transgenders shouldn't be in the same box. Being gay is a physical attraction to a physical, emotional, a mental attraction to the same sex. A transgender person is a person who is delusional as fuck. They live in a fairy tale world. So, yeah, this shit should have you like, why the fuck did she boxing gays and transgenders and pedophilias all under one umbrella?
What are we talking about? Do you see what she's doing? Like, if you can't see the video, what she's doing right now is green screening herself over the article with the headline that says Governor DeSantis signs law that will punish child sex offenders with death penalty. So how was that a thing that's going to deter LGBT? Are you trying to say that there's a high chance of LGBT abusing children? Is that what you're saying? I'm not saying it, but are you saying it? Now, if that's the case, then we need to have a different conversation, shouldn't we? We should have a different conversation altogether. But let's continue.
But those who do not leave at their own free will, well, what's going to happen if you refuse to leave a bathroom? They're already calling the communities, trans and gay, they're already calling them groomers.
I mean, look, if you are an adult male in the women's restroom and you get caught.
And let me stop real quick. They're not all groomers, but there's people trying to groom kids into this shit. And then there used to be a time, you know, like they've switched the times up now. It's like men, you had boys that would be, or men that would be real feminine. And back in the days, we would just say, hey, you know, they're gay. They like men. They're men who like men, or boys who like boys. Now they're trying to tell them, oh, you're supposed to be a girl because your ways are feminine. And I've met plenty of gay people. I've talked to plenty of gay people that are very feminine, and they don't think that way. They don't believe that they're supposed to be a girl, that they're supposed to be a woman, because they carry themselves in a feminine nature. And not all gay people are feminine either. Some are very masculine. So yeah, so why are we boxing gays with transgenders in the first place? And now why are we boxing gays with transgenders and pedophilias under the same umbrella? That should draw some red flags. And like you said, if we're doing that, we need to have another conversation. We need to have a new
keeping on little girls and whatnot in the stall. I mean, what are we talking about exactly? What are we talking about? And that kind of person, are you even gay at that point? I mean, what's happening right here is that you got a lot of freaks in this world, a lot of deviant, disgusting people who need to be locked up, or, like I said, behind the courtroom deleted. They're taking advantage of these laws for their own purposes. We ain't talking about just regular people that think they're a woman and want to use women's restroom. That's not what's going on. Not at all. And that shouldn't even be happening. But we're not talking about normies. We're talking about predators, child offenders who are using laws to their advantage.
That's another good point that Anthony Brian Logan brought up. There's going to be people that are using this shit to their advantage. They're going to, like, the boys that identify as girls just so they could go and win a medal. They could just dominate a sport. Or you're going to have some people that identify as females just so they could peep on the females in the bathrooms and the locker rooms and things of that nature, because they're allowing biological boys who want to identify as a girl tomorrow to go and dress in some of the girls' locker rooms at some of these high schools, middle schools, colleges.
That's the problem. So if you want to conflate that with LGBT, then that's on you. That's on you. You're doing that, not me. So don't nobody try to say the ABL did it. This lady right here is doing it.
That's the next step. Well, they didn't leave the bathroom because they're obviously going to do something with my child. And if they think that you're a pedophile or a groomer or a sex offender.
If they think, what you mean? We're talking about if you are convicted of a crime. You can't just say, I think this person is a sex offender with no evidence. I was very clear. If you're convicted, if there's evidence, if there's pictures in your phone, if you have online communication, text messages, evidence, proof of someone doing a thing that they shouldn't be doing, like abusing children, then yeah, you need to get the rope, the chair, the firing squad, whatever it is. Nobody in society has any kind of sympathy for those kind of people, but maybe this lady right here does. I can't really tell what's going on.
It's legalized genocide.
Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Wait, so it sounds like what she's doing is these people would do anything and everything to justify transgenderism being a real thing. First of all, biological boy has no business in the girl's bathroom. I don't care what he identifies with, and vice versa. And if a biological female, that's the thing. You don't see biological females identify as men going to the men's bathroom. You don't see a lot of that. This whole transgenderism is one-sided. It's only biological men competing with females in sports. It's mainly only biological men trying to go to the women's bathroom. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there's no men around here saying that a biological woman that identifies as a man is a man. We're not entertaining that shit. She don't got nothing swinging between her legs. If she can strap on the rubber dildo all she wants, it doesn't change the fact you're still a female. You're still a woman. You can identify as what you want. You can look like what you want, act like what you want. It doesn't make you that. Plenty white boys can act black. They do. It doesn't make them black. It doesn't. You know, yeah, the fact that she would box pedophilias in with transgender should be the red flags.
I mean, talk about letting the cat out the bag. So look, again, I'm not trying to say that just because you're LGBT that you're going to be a groomer or a sex offender, but I think some people are telling you, hey, there are some people in that community that are going to do this and they're going to hide behind the label of being LGBT. And then if you have any kind of enhanced penalty against these people, then that means you're trying to attack that community. That is a crazy admission, 1000% crazy. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take?
And what say me is, yeah, that's crazy as shit. And I'm not saying that everybody in that community would do that either, but there's people, just like people hide behind this insanity plea when they kill somebody. Why would it be any different? And he's right. There's people that's, lying and saying they identify as a man or a woman just to take advantage of the situation, to take advantage of the scenery. And the fact that, I've never boxed gays in with transgenders. And I know gay people that say, hey, I'm not in the same box as transgenders. Because one is a real thing. Gays are real. They have a physical attraction to the same sex. That's a real thing. Even though I don't agree with it, I don't condone it, and I really don't want to associate on a sociable scale. Like I'm not gonna go out and hang out with gay people or nothing like that. It's not my cup of tea. I don't, like I said, that's the thing. Why, if I don't agree with your lifestyle, why would I hang out with you? Why would I hang out with you if I don't hang out with full-blown on gangsters anymore? Dudes out here just robbing people at gunpoint. No, I don't agree with your lifestyle. Why would I hang out with you? That should be common sense and common knowledge. If I don't agree with your lifestyle, why would I hang out with you? But I've always said that sexualizing kids at an early age in school, like they're trying to, all this shit leads to them trying to normalize pedophilia in the long run. You see the Jeffrey Epstein, all those names that were going to come out, and all of a sudden he got apparently committed suicide or apparently got whacked. But yeah, there's a lot of sick motherfuckers that this shit is definitely going to expose. And do I feel sorry if you have clear evidence of a pedophile who, raped a little kid and you gave him the death sentence? Would I feel any bad? Would I feel bad for them? Would I feel any remorse for them being killed? Nope. Afraid not. It's like Patrice O'Neal when he's like, yo, you're watching that news and it's like, mother of 3 disappears. Oh, I'm going to feel something about this. Oh, nothing. Nothing. I feel nothing for a pedophile getting the death penalty and clearly guilty. So once again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. this is another batshit crazy episode. Just the thought that, you know, people would equate gays and transgenders to pedophilias. That is just so fucking scary. It's red flags. It's a head scratcher. It should really make you fucking wonder what the fuck is going on here. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Paul Pickett Podcast, and I'm out. Peace.